everyone. This is Ashley, your best friend. And on this episode of Let's Talk, I'm going to introduce you to one of my good friends, Vida So. Welcome, Vida So.
Thank you so much, Ashley. Thank you for inviting me.
Of course, of course. Um, so tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do in the entertainment industry.
Well, I'm an actress. I have been acting for the last, I think, 5 years now, 6 years. Um, I mostly did stage theater in New York, and now I'm back in Los Angeles, so I am trying my hand at something different, more on TV and film. So, yeah, and I think my goal is just to, I don't know, because I love acting, and I think I especially love the camaraderie you build with your cast and your crew. So, I and I'm a very social person, so I love the whole thing of collaborating, working together, and I also do love the individual work that goes into it and studying the character and trying to understand the human, behind the person that's being presented.
Right.
So, yeah, and I love the stage. So,
Right. So I want to share with the audience how we met. So we didn't even meet in the States, which is so crazy because we're so close.
there we
We
go.
actually met abroad. Now, that's all I'm going to say. You go into further detail.
Oh my goodness. Yes, we met in Bristol, England. We were both at Bristol Old Vic Drama School, and we were taking a summer course there, classical acting, I remember. And yeah, we were cast in the same Midsummer Night's Dream play.
Shout out to Jackie Crago.
Yes,
Fabulous.
Jackie Cradle. Yes, yes. And we had a phenomenal time there. Yeah, and I remember after that you and I kept in touch, and we were on each other's Facebook pages and Instagram. And then you came to New York where I was in 2016.
Yes.
And then when you and I re-hooked up, then that's when, I don't know, our crazy friendship started.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we've been good friends ever since.
yes.
Yeah, we traveled together. We've been back to England since. You studied at RADA. I studied at my drama school. And we've just had a great time and a great friendship. And you're also a producer on my production company, Let's Talk. I mean, not Let's Talk. Let's Talk is a part of our production company, but Jonathan Productions. And so you help garner what we're doing next. We're working on our theater company right now, and we're working on finishing a film that we're working on, and just a few other things that we have on our pipeline. We have so much on our
Yes.
yeah. So what is one of the things about the entertainment industry that you can share that people have a misconception of?
Oh, wow. What a question. I have a misconception of. I guess being in Los Angeles, people think, oh, you're an actor. Where have I seen you? Or what, they immediately assume you're like A-list status or whatever. But actually, there are a lot of actors who are not known, who are great actors at their craft. But it's just that the ones that you see in the Hollywood movies or the studio productions, those are just a few, a little snippet of the myriad of actors and talent that are in the working in the industry currently. So I think the big misconception is people people only know the small bit of actors that we see every day on TV and on film, but there's actually a lot going on. There's a lot of film, and there is a lot of TV, and there is a lot of theater outside of the Hollywood realm that most people don't know about, but it's actively going on. It's people are working. Yeah, and so there's a lot of creatives that are not known. So you don't have to be famous to
Right.
be an actor. You just have to love what you do. I think that's the most important requirement in this field is for you to love what you do. And that's for me, that's the biggest misconception, I think.
I totally agree with you because I think that's one of the things. Is like, have I seen you on a television show? And people forget that there's this other medium called theater, and being
Yeah.
on the stage and what that means. And I loved doing theater because you create a family dynamic, that you don't really sometimes have for TV and film because you have to shoot in such a short time. Whereas if
Yeah.
you're a theater, run that can run from anywhere from 3 months to a full year, 2 years or 3 years, people get to build that camaraderie, that trust, and they can go off of each other. And so, yeah, it's definitely a different medium and a different space of
Yeah.
learning as a performer and as a creative. Now, we've done so many projects together now, but our first project together, I would say through Jonathan Productions, was the DAFTAs and Rocket Man in Treatment. And so, how was that? Me coming to you and be like, "Hey, Vida, we're doing this contest, and I would like you to be a part of it." And you co-produced, and you're one of the producers, and you acted in it. So, how was that?
Oh my gosh, that was such a fun experience, I tell you. I had the most fun on that set. And I think what was great was that in that moment, because we only had, according to the DAFTAs, we only had 24 hours to shoot it, and we were on a very limited time. But
And
in that,
budget,
yes,
according to the rules.
oh my gosh, the budget. Yes. It was, as a producer, it was so easy to say, well, okay, we need this and that, let's get it. But then you had to remember, no, if you spend more than should have staff does, you don't qualify for it. So that was very interesting to try to fit into, a full film set and everything. But I think it was fun. It was probably the most fun I've had on a film set. Um, just because I think you as the director, you gave us carte blanche on what we could do, how we could do the characters, and a a satire of sorts to the Rocket Man movie. Sorry, Rocket Man movie, and also Rocket Man in Treatment. And we just got to do so many silly and fun things with our characters, and we could explore, outside the box. So I think that's what I loved most about it was being able to just be creative, carte blanche with no limitations, no nothing. And it was fun. And oh my gosh, every time like we were on set, we were laughing like every minute of it. So, oh my gosh. So thank you for that. That was a great experience. Yeah. As producer, that was interesting considering that we couldn't spend.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's more than what, 200 pounds, which was like equivalent to $250. And then we could only shoot within that 24-hour time frame. And we only had like a week and a half, 2 weeks to write the script.
Yes, you had only 2.5 weeks to write
Because
the whole
from the
script.
time you sign up, right? From the time we signed up, it was its first year for the competition, first of all, and it was just them still trying to get their footing. But now it's a well working machine, you know.
Yes, yes,
They're
we
going.
did the first DAFTAs ever.
Oh, you did the inaugural year, and so that's great. That was great, and um, they've now done it 3 years in a row, and they're going to do their fourth year.
Yes,
Um,
wow.
and so we're still like, do we join? Do we do this third time? We might. We
I
might.
know you never know, but
You never know. We might
let
do it
it.
third time. Third time's the charm, right?
Yes, third time's the charm, and let it be said that in this creative field, anything can be done. We were limited on time. We were limited on the budget we could use, but we pulled it together and we came up with something that I think was very very funny. It was hilarious to me. But yeah, we came up with a whole short film in that amount of time, and it was great. And everyone got the experience they needed. We met new people that we can collaborate with again, and I think you have collaborated with again. So it's
It was a great team. So many great people that I recommend still to this day to other people. Like if people come to me like I need this, and I'm like, oh yeah, this person, this person, this person. It was a great team. I mean, they
exactly.
understood the time crunch we were on. They understood like this is going to be something that we're going to do here in New York, and people are going to see it in the UK.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that everybody was willing to get on board and to stretch their creativity in such a short time. You know, that was what was
Yes.
crazy about it. It was like, oh, okay, can you do this next week?
Yes. So let it be said that you don't need a big studio project, a
Right.
big studio budget to create something that you want to do, that means something to you, that you want to express yourself as. You can do it with what you have, especially now with the internet and social media. You have
Right.
all these platforms to present your work, to present your skills, to present your art in. So, yeah, I think it's definitely more unlimited now than it was before. So,
Sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
you don't need to be part of like, oh, this huge production. You can do it well on your own if you want, or you can do it with, gather your own set of people and just put together a project and let it be done.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so next question for you is what are like 3 shows or films that you've recently watched and like would recommend to another creative? You know how we always get together, we're like, what are you watching now? What are you watching?
Yes. I would, oh my gosh. Well, oh, there's a lot. Let me go through my
Well, just name 3 that come to your head.
Okay. They are, some of them are older films and shows, but you did say recently, so let me backtrack that. Well, I saw The Split, which is a British show. That was really, I think, for me, very moving in a heartbreaking way.
Right.
Yeah, but it kind of, it's a show that kind of made you face, things in real life that, people deal with. And it's and challenges that go with it. The other one was the most recent one I think was Karen Peary. Is that
Okay.
the title?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that one was great. Oh my gosh! And I've also well, I've seen Redemption. That was a good show. These are all UK shows. So I will name one American show that I've gotten into lately. It's an old show, but I'm watching it on Netflix now. How to Get Away with Murder. And wow, Viola Davis. Oh my gosh. I am so moved by her performances on every episode that I have seen. The lady is a bomb. She is a professional at her craft, and she can just take you through. I mean, the emotions that her character is going through, I'm going through as I'm watching it. And
Right.
you
Right.
know, when your character's in trouble, I'm like, oh no, what's gonna happen? I'm like, oh no, how is Annalise gonna get out of this one? So that one I have quite enjoyed. I'm still in the middle of it, but that one I have come to love a lot.
That's good. That's good. That has a few seasons, so we'll have to circle back and talk about that one.
Yes.
Um, yeah. So you mentioned one of the shows that I want to talk about today, and it is The Splits.
Yeah.
Okay, I watched that show. I think I recommended it to you.
You
Um,
did. Yes, you did.
I did, and it's because I love Nicola Walker. She's one of my favorite British actresses, and I feel like she does not get enough credit because a lot of people don't know who she is. But she's a great actress, and when I say actress, theater, film, television, she's done it all. Um, Voiceover work, like she's done it all. Radio,
Exactly.
and so she's fabulous. And I started watching her. My first experience watching her was Spooks, or MI5, I think is what they call it here in the States. And she just has such a skill with the way she tells the story with her eyes. You
Oh
know,
my gosh.
it's
Yeah.
just so beautiful to watch. And so I started watching the show a couple years ago. Was it in the middle of pandemic? I'm trying to remember if it was in the middle of shutdown.
When you started it, no, I think it was earlier than that.
It might have been before that. It might have been while I was in drama school. I don't remember. But the first, because they
Yeah.
spaced out the seasons, like when they shot them and aired them, and
Yeah.
so I just remember saying this show is heartbreaking, and
Oh my
it just
god.
pulls so much out of you. And I literally remember telling a good friend, Kayleen, I was telling her this show has been really cathartic for me. As a child of parents who got divorced,
Mm,
you know,
yeah.
and what that means, and the emotions that everybody involved go through, and to see that played out between these two characters. And I think Abby Morgan, who's the creator and writer of the show, did a marvelous job at tapping into the humanity of
Yes.
couple, their family dynamic, and how it affects everybody around them.
Yes. Yes. That is so true because the show is about divorce, and you normally think of divorce as two people going through something, but actually, divorce involves a whole family or a whole team of you, if it's your friends or family, but mostly your family is going through it with you. And it affects you as much as it affects the two who are getting the divorce. So, yeah, and I have to agree with you on Nicola Walker. My gosh, I saw her. I think one of the first times I saw her was in View from a Bridge in New York.
The Ivan Van Hove, yes.
Yes.
With Mark Strong, yes, yes.
Oh my gosh, her and Mark Strong. That was incredible.
I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah.
But you're right. A lot of people don't know about her, but she has been a working professional in this field for a while now. She's not like, oh, the newbie that came along. No, she's been working in it for a long time. And my gosh, her craftsmanship and her skill level and her authenticity. Like
Right.
every character comes from her heart. Like you said, it's in her eyes. But she can just move you with just a close up on her face and no
Right.
words.
No words.
But you know
What
what's
she's
going
thinking.
on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or something's going on. It is as clear as day. My gosh. She is like pinpoint clear as day. Yes. And I love her. I've seen her on other British shows and she's phenomenal. She is
Right.
one of the best actresses, let me say this, of our time
Right.
right now. Yeah.
Last Tango in Halifax.
Yes.
I think she did an episode of Luther. She's in IT Crowd. Like the list goes on and on and on.
Yes.
Annika, Unforgotten.
Yes, Unforgotten, yes. And I
Um,
think was she on River also?
yes, that was her in River.
Yes, that
Yeah,
was
that was her in
her,
River.
yes.
Yeah, she's one of those actresses that I think she's a great chameleon. Like people don't realize that it's her
Exactly.
because she just
Exactly.
goes and
You,
moves between roles.
you know what? And she can play any character with as much authenticity. And I mean, I don't know what to say. She's phenomenal. And in that regard, that she can move from medium to medium, which not everybody can do. Not
Right,
all actors can do that, but she can go from theater to film to TV to like you said, the voiceover radio, and do it flawlessly. So, yes, that's one of my goals. Hopefully, one day I'll be able to do it flawlessly.
right. And one of the things that I realized about her and why I love watching, I tend to come back to some of the shows she's done and rewatch it because one of my issues as an actor that I struggle with and I continue to try to work on day to day is specificity and what that means for your character in telling the story. And I think she does that so well.
Oh,
Um, that's why I was like, I go back to episodes of Last Tango in Halifax or The Split or Unforgotten, and then I'm just looking at her in the scene, and I'm like, dang, like the words, the connection between her and the words, the connection with her body, her vocal range, the way you see the camera take her in and really express that story is so um authentic and real,
yeah,
but also it just applauds her craftsmanship and skill like you said earlier. She's
that
really
is very, very true. Yes, and people think that in some ways it's true, but people think like, oh, theater, that's harder to do than film or TV. But actually, it's I believe it can be harder on film and TV because you are not in an environment. I mean, you have like the lighting person there, the boom mic there. People are like behind the scenes working with it, but you have got to present it as if you are truly in that world.
right.
So to me, whereas in the theater, you're on set, there's the audience is like just there, the the audience is, the fourth wall, but I mean, you have you don't have all those little distractions that are like sometimes right there in your face,
Right.
you know. And what makes, I think, TV, American TV, interesting. And what I'm impressed with Viola Davis and How to Get Away with Murder is that TV is all about, just getting in there. It's not about taking your time. Let's, explore the character. I mean, you do that, but you're on a time budget. So usually it's like, okay, next scene, boom, next scene, boom, next scene. It, and the director is just concerned about, let's get these things in today. Let's get these scenes in today. We can't, dilly dally about it or really get into it. But my gosh, Viola Davis does such a tremendous job in solidifying her character in those moments. And like you said, like Nicole Walker, she does it with such specificity in her that, I mean, like I said, she takes you into the story, into their lives, and you end up rooting for her. Like, oh my gosh, how's she gonna get out of this? How's she? Oh no! Like she's always in like a predicament on the show. But
Right.
but back to what you were saying about Nicole Walker. So yeah, it's a hard. That's another misconception I think about the three mediums, or four if you count radio, which is not a lot here, but in the foreign market in Britain, there's a lot of radio is still going on, and that is an art form all to itself. But yeah, they really, I mean, it takes skill to
It
be
does.
able to come from one medium to another. It's skill and it's a lot of time and a lot of practice, I think. So it's not just something you can just like, oh, pick up and, I can just breathe it in. Okay, now be angry. Be angry.
Right.
It's not just that, it's, as you know, because you went to drama school, it's about bringing your whole body into it, into the, into, I think, what's going on with your character at the moment. It's not just about bringing the emotions into it. The emotions are um, they're a, I forgot what the word I'm looking for. I want to say consequence, but that's a byproduct of what is happening to you in the scene.
Right.
You know? But that's why it comes out so naturally with people like Viola Davis and Nicole Walker, because their aim is not, okay, I'm going to be sad in this scene. Their
Right.
aim is like their goal in this scene. Like, I want this person to understand what I'm saying, or whatever. Maybe I want this person to fall in love with me in this scene, but the
Right.
emotions come up naturally and so organically. So yeah, I think there's a lot of misconceptions about acting and you know how it's done, but yeah, but in the end of it all, it's a lot of work, a lot of
Right.
practice, a lot of time.
Well,
Yes,
you said you talked about body, you talked about voice, and so the thing about Viola Davis and Nicole Walker is that they both went to drama school. Viola
yes.
went to Juilliard and Nicola went to RADA. Do you think that going to drama school is a necessity for any and every performer?
Wow, what a question. That is a great question. You know, I would say drama school, the right drama school for you. Let me just put that out there first.
Right.
Um, it is an incredible asset to have and to go through because normally drama schools are 3 years and it is 3 years of, well, the first year is just about getting you into your body and out of habits. Well, this the audience may not know this, but actors know this. But it's getting you out of what they call when you're in your head. It's getting you out of your head, and it is about. Uh, it is about your body because in acting, it is about the physicality, whether it's theater, TV, film, radio, it is still all about the physicality of your body. I don't believe it's a psychology trick, although you can use psychology to understand certain things about it. But really, the thing that drama school gives you is the practice of getting out of your head and into your body. Because in the end of it all, I believe that acting is about your physicality and not getting in your way of like thinking too much about the character or thinking about ways that you could strategize. I mean, you do use your head in it,
Right.
but I would say your body is the majority of the work. And
Got it.
so, yeah, so I think drama school is a huge asset. Now, is it a necessity for every performer? It's hard, but I'm going to say no, because we have other prime examples of people who are brilliant actors and who understand the craft of acting, who understand all the work that they do in drama school, and they do it themselves, which is harder and much more rare to find. But like Johnny Depp is a great example of that. I mean, he every character he portrays, from like, oh my gosh, the myriad of characters he has, from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory to like, what was the one he did with Benedict Cumberbatch? That one was so good too. And Finding Neverland. Oh my God.
And Barry.
Phenomenal. Phenomenal. And he has not
Whitey.
been
He played Whitey something. What was it called? Something Sabbath. Black Sabbath? Black something.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I forgot. It's him, or him and Johnny Depp play brothers.
Yeah, he plays. I think the character. I think the person's name he's portraying is like Whitey something. I just can't remember.
Oh.
That was like his nickname. It was like, yeah.
But just the I mean, the depth that he goes to with his characters. Clearly, he understands what it means to be in his body.
Right.
When he's doing a performance or a character.
Right.
You have him, who's phenomenal.
Right.
And he's not been to any drama school, but he learned the trade, of acting on his own.
And I think also the people he worked with. I think that's another thing about drama school that I took away from. And I'm always striving to be, is that when you're in an ensemble setting, which I think you don't need drama school for, you could be part of a theater company or do a show and do a run, and you learn this ensembleship and what it means to get to play that game, that tennis match between who your scene partner is or who you're on the stage with. And when you learn that, you're able to know, like, I'm serving you this and you serving me this back. And that form of game playing and imagination is wonderful to have access to. Um, I think that drama school is more of like, as an artist, you're an athlete and your body is the vessel, and this is how you have to exercise it, your voice, your body, and the range, like knowing the difference between your head voice, your chest voice, and you're, deepening that posture, Alexander technique, let your neck be free. I wish my neck be free, how, because you're doing that, it's making sure that your neck is in a nice range so that you're not cutting off your voice, so people can hear you clearly, and diction, and learning words and knowing what they mean so that you can be more specific. And when you're, delivering dialogue into another person. And so basically that as an actor and being a better researcher, I think I learned from drama school. What does it mean to really investigate the story that you're supposed to help the director create in this vision? And what does that mean? Your homework never stops. Even when you're on set or on stage, you're always searching. You're always trying to see what's going on in this person's mind and how can you convey that better. And I think that's such a great thing that I know that I can go back to as a person who went to drama school, and it's helped me in my everyday day-to-day life. I think it's made me a better person as a result overall. It's not something that I think everybody needs. I think if anybody can just, get that theater experience in some shape or way or form, whether you do a church play or you do a 6 weeks thing for someone, like any of New York, and we know New York, you can find theater things going on all the time.
Oh my gosh.
But that you can participate in, that you can really learn what it means. And I think also timing, like you learn okay, it's quick changes, and you have to be on the stage, and what does that mean, changing your costume? And sometimes you don't have a makeup artist doing your makeup on a film and TV set. You have to learn how to do your own makeup. So then you learn what shades and what colors look good on me, so that when I'm on stage, I stand out.
Yes. And you said something, going back to what you said about drama school. I think you said the word training, and I think that's important because a lot of people think of drama school as academia, where you bunch of books, you study, then you take a test, you take a midterm, and then you pass. But that's not drama school at all. Drama school is working with your body,
and your mind, because you have to learn that text.
Yes.
You are reading. Granted, you are reading these plays. You can read up to a week's time. You can read 4 to 5 plays, and learning 5 to 6 scenes for that week. So it definitely stretches your mind, and learning words and learning how fast you can learn them, which is great for auditioning.
It's great for it is. Yes.
Sorry to cut you off, but I wanted to clarify that.
No, that's totally, no, you're right. That's totally fine. And it's also about what you talked about with when you said the word athlete, that literally felt like that is what drama school is. And it's just someone guiding you through the steps of how you should be physically, so you can be the most open for the stage or the screen. But you did mention also that theater, if anyone can get theater training, anywhere, that's always good. And I believe that it is, because with theater, you have to be physical. Whereas in film, it is still very physical in film, but it's distilled. So you have to be able to convey the same message, sometimes without moving the body.
Right.
because it's just a still shot. But that is very, very physical. Those shots where it's a close up and you see the character just staring at something, and whatever's happening in the scene, their mother died or they're thinking about something in the scene, and that is very, very physical, I think. And when done physically, it I think it brings out the natural quality of the performance on film. So, but theater is definitely a really nice base to start working off of with being physical, because you got to move on stage, you got to, and your body has to be free to move, and you have to be responding to the other person physically. Whereas we're on camera, sometimes the other person is not there and it's just you and the camera. But the theater gives you that nice, like, practice for physicality. And then when you feel very comfortable at it, then you can start working physically with the camera.
Right.
But yeah.
So, thanks for watching part 1 of this interview with Vida and I. Part 2, where we go into a full-depth discussion of the television show The Split, will be coming in 2 weeks' time, because next week we're going to talk all things Black Panther. See you then. Bye. Have a good week.